Hi, I'm Sharon Spangler. Right now I'm here in the control room at Reno City Hall at the end of the council meeting, and with me is City Manager Andrew Klinger. It's been a rough week for meetings this week.
It's been a busy week for meetings, for sure.
There was a joint meeting with Washoe County on Monday and deconsolidation of the fire department, the Reno Fire Department with the Washoe County and Truckee Meadows Fire Protection District. The county made it pretty apparent that they're going to move ahead with Plan B and deconsolidate. And then today on the agenda were a few fire issues. One of those was giving out the layoff notices to firefighters. The council decided to move ahead with those. What happens next?
Well, at the meeting on Monday, the joint meeting with the county, they basically stated that they're going to move down what I would call parallel tracks. One is to continue to put together their fire department and deconsolidate, but at the same time they also agreed to consider a joint powers agreement where we would stand up a joint fire department under some sort of governing board with members from the city council as well as the county commission sitting on that board. The council today, based on the discussion on Monday, did give me the authority to send out notices of layoffs to our firefighters based on the deconsolidation. We're going to wait and see what happens on Tuesday with the county, because I know they are going to discuss at their next meeting on Tuesday. They're going to discuss the options under a JPA, and so we're going to wait and see what happens with those discussions before we decide to send out any notices.
What else is the city doing to prepare for the deconsolidation?
Well, we have Station 14 in the south, which is currently occupied with City of Reno firefighters. That station is actually owned by the county. It's their facility. So one of the things that we're moving forward on is finding a temporary facility down south so that we can move out of that county facility. We've asked the county to lease that facility to us, and they've basically stated that it has to be part of a package agreement or they're not going to lease it to us. So we're really put in the position, come July 1st, we have to have a presence in south part of Reno, and so we're going to go out and find a temporary space to get us through until we can build a permanent station down south.
Hernandez also mentioned that he is moving ahead with efforts to get the Stead station working again.
Yes, we have, I believe it's Station 9. There's two stations in the Stead area, Station 9 and Station 13. I think it's Station 13 is actually the county station, and Station 9 right now is browned out. So we will, as part of deconsolidation, we will also open up Station 9 so that we can service the northern valleys in Reno.
What is the city doing to move forward with some sort of joint powers agreement?
We're sending proposals over to the county commission to consider at their Tuesday meeting. The agreement that we have right now with the Truckee Meadows Water Authority is one that's been talked about as a model for a joint powers, and so we're going to send them over. Their staff has put together some different options for the county commission to consider. We're going to put forth some options for them to consider as well, and then we'll see what happens on Tuesday.
So if there's a joint powers agreement, it would pretty much take control of a regional fire department out of the hands of the county commissioners and the Reno City Council and create some sort of board. Can you explain what that's all about?
Correct. It would create a joint governance board. Not sure what that board would look like, how many members from each entity, but basically you'd have city council members who would sit on that board, you'd have county commissioners who would sit on that board, and that would become the employer for the fire department. So they would no longer be City of Reno, a City of Reno department. It would be whatever the Joint Powers Authority was. That would become the new employer.
The other issue on the agenda that was somewhat contentious was the Lander Street abandonment, and the council moved ahead, sort of. Can you explain what's going to happen next with that?
They agreed to move forward on the process. They didn't agree to the abandonment. There are several conditions that have to be met before any consideration of abandonment. So basically the action they took today was to move forward with the process to see if Our Lady of the Snows can meet the conditions that have been put on them as far as parking, and other issues. And so we'll wait and see if they, can comply with those conditions and whether that moves forward or not.
Great. Is there any other issue that you thought was significant?
There's lots of issues that are significant, none that I can think off the top of my head right here.
Great. Thank you. And thank you for joining us.